In September 2020, I was tasked with doing some research of property portals from the point of view of an agent looking to advertise their Portuguese listings on these portals. After a little bit of initial research, I shortlisted 9 property portals, which included the one you see in the background here, Idealista.pt, as well as several others, including Zoopla, Rightmove Overseas, A Place in the Sun, On the Market, Chiaro, luxuryestate.com, Green Acres, and a French one called Meta de Bourg, just by the basis of googling around and seeing what they had and who had the most listings there. The research was really to see if I was an agent, where would I want to advertise? So what you're about to see is my feedback from that. This is super geeky, so if you're not an agent and you're not looking to advertise in Portugal, I suggest you just skip this video right now. But if you are, this could be interesting for you. If you're the portals and you're not happy with what I'm saying, tough. Be better.
Okay, so these are my takeaways from the little market research I did on 8 or 9 portals for Portuguese listings. The things everybody had in common were nobody displays their prices before you inquire, not one of them. Very few show any stats whatsoever to support why you should advertise with them. And I think only one provided any specific stats to do with Portugal, which was Idealista. So the other thing that they had in common is that for me, where they dropped the ball almost in every case was either poor or no sales follow-up. And by sales follow-up, I don't mean calling me or not calling me or emailing me, but just taking too long to email, the email being off point, being too long, amateurish, missing, not reading what comment I'd made, or in some cases not replying. In other cases, you just can't even inquire because they're trying to be clever, force you to use a format that doesn't end up working, or forces you to use a postcode. If I was an agent outside of the UK trying to advertise in Spain or Portugal, anywhere else, particularly with the British ones, it's very clear that they only have British people and British agents in mind by the way that forces UK postcodes on you. I mean, each one of those things is a reason just to bounce out of it. So some of the big ones that have a lot of listings, like Idealista, I mean, that was hard work. I still haven't actually got a price from them to date. And I've tried for a week. They have the most listings, so I'd probably persevere and forgive their sins, but they've been a bit of a nightmare. Luxury estate, one's like Luxury Estate to some degree, the French one, the Mer de Mer, and their product is a bit, and Green Acres to a degree. The product's a little bit off from, you're not basically paying for listings. 2 when you're paying per leads. One of them, it's got a very complicated package basis, which is the Luxury Estate. And ironically, those are the ones, by and large, that actually have the good responses. A couple of the French ones, they seem to try and push you directly into a portal without involving sales staff. It seems to be the case. And then On the Market was just a complete and utter waste of time. I mean, the overseas section has to be an afterthought for them, because they can't seriously expect somebody to inquire for that. It must be a service to their already British customers that are maybe want to have a double overseas. That's the only thing I can assess. So if I had to pick 3 or 4 that I would try out of the 8 or so, 9 that I have there, I would probably persevere with Idealista because they seem to be the biggies. I'm excluding Chiaro here. I would. Luxury Estate, I probably wouldn't do it, even though they were really professional, very quick and efficient, because it just doesn't feel like that's where they're at. Green Acres, I probably would give a go because it's a cost per lead basis. So despite their horrible forms and stuff like that, I'd give it a go. Zoopla, yeah, I mean, it's one that I would either keep it or leave it. I don't know, 4 months. So it's a big outlay. They're probably really the ones that I would think twice about going with, not because they did anything wrong, but just because it's a neither here nor there type of thing. I know that particular, I didn't feel like I had to be on it. The pricings were all right, but the commitment was from memory, was like 500 to $1,000 or something like that before I've actually done anything. And then A Place in the Sun was quite nice and tidy. I like the way they did it. and that's pretty much it. But by and large, with the exception of luxuryestate.com, it was an effort to find out how much it costs to advertise on these places. And as an agent, that would be very, very frustrating just to think, I want to give you money and you just won't tell me how much it costs. I can't think of another industry where that happens. And there must be a really good reason why nobody has prices on the way in. But it would certainly make me happier if I was an agent that would just say, look, you're in the Portuguese section, you got X amount of visitors a month to this section, and prices are from. I mean, I don't need to have all of them at that point, but to have nothing at all, particularly the ones where they force you to sign up for a trial before you even know what it's going to cost you, or even what the pricing package is. So that's my overview of Portuguese agents. I can only assume that the Portuguese agents themselves already use Idealista and they're in there and that's what they do. And then that the UK ones probably are ones that sell UK properties as well, and they latch onto their overseas section. But really coming in cold with some properties to list, awful. Hope this helps.